Okay, this is our Build It Big Club, and the lesson that we're covering in the workbook tonight is strengthen your belief. And I'll just read this quote that's at the very beginning of the workbook on page 83. Skepticism creates a real opportunity to educate others about why a legitimate direct selling company is not a scam, but an amazing method of marketing that financially rewards the individuals who distribute the products. So that's a great quote. Now we're going to go to the readings, and we're going to not go in order this time because as I went through these, I thought that in the More Build It Big, page 4, define your core beliefs should be first. So we're going to go to that one first. And that's on page 4 of the More Build It Big book. And this is define your core beliefs, building a solid foundation. Your internalized beliefs about direct selling will make or break your attempts to recruit new team members. So this covers a lot of things about people's concepts of what a direct selling company is compared to what it really is in ours, like Avon, okay? So on page 5 at the top there, examining and strengthening your beliefs in direct selling will have a positive impact on your prospects, which in turn will lead you to recruiting success. So again, it's talking about the foundation and what your belief is in the company that you're in our case, Avon. Your business will become your passion and your purpose. And when that happens, everyone wins. So was there anything else in that section, Flo, that stood out to you?
I really like the idea that they're not going at it as a, well, they've got a real good reason to say this isn't a pyramid. Of course, it's not a pyramid company. A pyramid company wants you to bring more and more and more. And granted, yeah, that is always going to be beneficial to everybody. But the idea isn't so that the person at the top gets rich. It's so that our customers get what they're asking for. And
Right.
Our business is about the customer. It's not a pyramid scam.
And yes, and it's the relationship building that you do with your customers and filling their needs. You know,
Exactly.
their needs is what's important. So then the next section goes on to peeling the onion. And it talks about your attitudes and your beliefs that affect your actions. So the second paragraph I had highlighted, in truth, beliefs are simply perceptions. So a lot of people have a perception about direct selling companies. And so you've got to have that strong belief and the knowledge about what your company does and doesn't do to share. So in the next paragraph, it's recruiting is based upon trust and belief, the belief you have in your product, the company, the profession, as well as the belief that others have in you, the sponsor or the upline or whatever you want to call it. So uncover your core beliefs about the direct selling profession before moving forward with your business and enrolling others into the organization. So it talks about just building up your own beliefs because you're forever, and I still do with my many years with Avon. When I talk about Avon, you can see their mind changing right in front of your eyes. And until you've got that comfortable phrase or one word sentence or whatever you can create for yourself that will extend their thoughts than thinking the perception that they have. So that's
know
always,
exactly what you're talking about. My husband said it's the 30-second elevator ride. You have to perfect it down to 30 seconds worth of conversation where it grabs their attention, because after 30 seconds, if they aren't interested, they're getting off on that next floor.
yeah, whether or not it's the floor they're going to or not.
Pretty much. He said, but if you say just the right thing, just the right way, they're going to ride all the way to the floor you're going to. And then they're going to want to know more.
Yeah, they want to hear more. Right.
Exactly. He calls it the 30-second elevator speech. It's like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Sadly, though, people hear the word Avon, and if that's one of the first things out of your mouth, they shut you down. Some of them will shut you down. Yes, there's some products that they like, but for whatever reason, they got turned off on it. So if you're talking about the company and you're talking about the products and the great things that, I mean, there's some really great things that Avon has. I mean, there really is.
yeah.
But if you're talking about those products and then you offer them a sample and they don't even know what the name of your company is, then you know you got them. You can just say, this isn't the Avon that it used to be. This is
Right.
something different. And we
Yeah.
just have the same name, you know?
The
We're very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it really goes back to what this next paragraph talks about is peeling the onion. Peeling the onion. The outer layers of the onion are the emotions you attach to an event, such as frustration, or maybe it's a customer earlier frustration with something they bought or weren't happy with or something, at not meeting the monthly goal, or anger at a team member who didn't keep her commitment or whatever. The next layer is your perception or your interpretation of the event, of what's going on with Avon currently. And the final layer reveals your core belief. So over to page 6 now. When you peel the onion, you discover layer by layer your belief in yourself, which has to come first, your belief in yourself, your belief in the profession, your unmet goals, and the obstacles that prevent you from fulfilling your dreams. So it's not always Avon's fault that you're not fulfilling your dreams.
Well, and that was my daughter when she was selling Avon. She goes, I see you're doing good at it. She goes, and I want to do good at it too. She goes, but I don't have the time to commit like you do. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you put what you're going to get back, whatever you put into it. And that is,
yeah, the commitment is different with everybody. Everybody's got a different commitment.
Yes.
You know, I've heard that too with myself, because I'm doing it full time. It's not my part-time job. Although I started out with Avon and it was part-time, very little. And, you know, it just built and built. And, you know, after my kids were born, then it was like, it turned into the only thing I wanted to do. I went out again after the kids were in school, went back to the corporate world, and it was like a slap in the face, right? Because I was used to being my own boss, and, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that, that type of thing.
I know. Well, somebody said, you know, when you go to a job interview and they say they are going to offer you all these things, I can't remember what video I was watching. It was a number of years ago about having your own company. It's like, so you can always tell them, okay, I only want to work these hours, blah, blah, blah. And I want to be able to take home this amount of money, blah, blah, blah. And I want to be able to go on vacation whenever I want, with possibly an occasional phone call or conversation with a customer, but Probably not. You
Yeah,
know, and then, these are all the things that Avon offers when you're selling and you own your own company. These are not the things that someone else's company is going to give you if you're their employee. So
right.
it just depends on what it is you want.
Yeah, yeah. So, what truly does being your own boss mean to you, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, then down to the middle of the page on page 6, getting to the core. Um, just start reading those bullets for me if you don't mind.
Sure. Number one, make a commitment. Draw up a written contract with yourself that states your intent to cover your core beliefs and your commitment to bring energy and honesty to the process. Number two, find resources. Make a list of resources, books, CDs, audio tapes that'll help you shore up any wavering beliefs in yourself, your product, your company, or the business. Number three, find a role model. Take a mental tour of your upline and make a list of women who exemplify solid core beliefs and an attitude of service to others. That's nice. And there's a lot of really great ladies out there that have really good ideas. I mean, really good ideas. You've got a whole pile of really good ideas too. Sometimes they're hard to find, but they're still really good ideas. And the ones that do their videos, Lisa, for example, Lisa Wilbur, she's got some great ideas out there. I mean, she really does. It's fun to watch her. It's fun to listen to her. It's fun to see her perspective. But her whole thing again is get out there and do it. You are not going to have these people knocking on your door, so go knock on theirs.
Right,
So, yeah.
right. You gotta, not so much, but you gotta wear it. You gotta wear what you're doing, and be able to tell everyone about it, because
Exactly.
you gotta uncover the core beliefs is what that kind of talks about. And Avon has the resources to help you do that with the training, and everything that they've got is unmatchable, I think, in just about any other direct sales company. So
Well, their Avon U goes through all kinds of training and they teach you stuff. And I mean, just because you're sitting there watching a video sometimes on those training sessions, that doesn't mean you can't stop the video and take notes. I am a huge fan of taking notes because I can always go back. That's the big thing. I can always go back and look at it. But in my brain, the way my brain works, if I write it down, I can remember it better. I mean, if I don't write it down, it's like, woo, gone.
Yeah.
And if I write it down, I know that if I can't remember what I wrote, I have it written down somewhere and I know exactly how to find it, exactly what I need to do. The notes are there. So yeah, that's really important. Yeah, know what you're doing.
So, so those three key points there are, something that everyone needs to really dig down deep and realize what that company has, whether it's Avon or another company. So, okay, so that was that one. Let's stay in the same book, in the More Build It Big, and go to page 103. And on page 103, the section talks about build your psychological armor. Okay, we kind of covered a little bit of that in this last section that we just talked about. And it talks about building empires by empowering others. And that's it. I always say with Zig Ziglar, you help enough people get what they want, and you end up getting what you want. So it's all about the needs of others and helping. And this one starts out with know your no's. Rejection is the toughest obstacle we face in direct marketing. So you must prepare your defenses against the rejection. And that, the 100 no's that I always talk about when you're out talking to people, you got to prepare yourself for those no's and be more surprised when you get a yes, and then have it ready that it's, going to come out with the benefit that they get from saying yes and then, move it into another meeting or whatever. So you must prepare your defenses against rejection. I call this building your psychological armor. So no is a requirement for success. But go ahead and read that part that's in bold there.
Okay. Make the major psychological shift to understand that you get paid for no's as well as yeses and embrace them. And that's the funny thing, too. A lot of people, when they hear that no, time after time after time, they get to the point where they feel like they're just not going to succeed because and if they stop, they're definitely not going to.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're not going to succeed, then you probably won't, because that next person they didn't ask might have been a gold mine. So you can't take it personally. You have to keep trying.
Yep. And so who tolerated the most rejections and disappointments? The power over self is the greatest power of all. Once you become self-motivated, purpose-driven, and undeterred, you will be unstoppable in whatever you pursue. The success will be yours. Yeah. So I think that, just this half a page has got so much importance in it to building your belief that was just like I reread this page over and over again because I loved it so much. Okay, then we start out on the bottom, get a nose for nose. The success is in the show, how many times you show your product or opportunity. Next page 104. It's got some interesting points in there on understand that you did not make $100 on the 10th person. You made $10 every time you presented yourself or every time you did the show. So because you get paid for rejection, you must build that physiological armor early in your career while you're still working on your belief level. So, so just some good things. Good things. Go ahead and pick out, one of those 1 through 8 bullets and, read any part of them that you want to, that stands out to you.
Well, first I want to read the number 1 because it's about the company. It says, build a strong belief in your company. If you're working for a company and you don't believe in what they're doing, then you are definitely with the wrong company. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get behind them, then you might as well get in front of them and get run over. But build strong belief in your company and your product to the point where it becomes a mission. Strong belief in the path you are on and commitment to stay on that path helps make you resilient. That is awesome, because that one right there talks about the company, it talks about the product that you have, and it talks about what it is that you will feel that you need to do to continue to make that company successful. Because if the company's successful, you are too, and they're going to pay you for it. So if you're in for the money, get behind the company, get behind the product, get behind everything that it stands for, and then present that to the people out there. And if this is what they're wanting, and if you do it just the right way, it'll be a great thing. It'll be a gold mine.
And I think that number 1 is great for anybody, even if they're new to the company, to just take out those bullets in there that, you stay on this path of success as long as you build as you're going, your belief and your mission and all of that. So
the thing with Avon is that, and this line in particular is that you have to look at Avon in a different kind of a way. Avon is, this is our business. This is what we are doing. And Avon's giving us the tools to teach us how to do this. Avon is our distributor. We get our product for our customers from Avon, just like any other company, like Kohl's or Walmart. They get their product in the store. The only difference is you have to get in your car and go there to get it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know your product, I mean, you already know the Avon name, but if you know your product and you know your customer, you can pinpoint what it is that they need, and you can provide them with that kind of a service, because this is your company. All you're doing is telling them about your product, and then you're getting Avon to send it to you. And that's it in a nutshell. Get to know your product. Because we already know that Avon is a good company and we have good products, but get to know what those products are so you can tell your customer what they need to know about what you're selling.
That's right. That's right. You got to know, you got to build up the knowledge on new products and on the products that we have, because when that person may say to you, well, I've got this problem around my eyes, you've got to be ready to go forward with what you would suggest to them. And that's how you build an order. You're not an order taker then. You're a salesperson, and you're showing them what fills their needs.
And you're an advisor on what their needs are, because again, going with the, if it's simple as crow's feet, that's one thing, but if it's acne or rashes, that's something entirely different.
Right.
So you wouldn't tell them to go ahead and use another product that isn't gonna, hey, let's get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles. Why? I have a rash there. What do I do to get rid of that?
Right.
I don't care about the wrinkles. I'm 25 years old. I want to get rid of the rash, right?
Right.
So know your product, because you should be able to tell them, okay, this is what has worked for many of our customers. I have a sample. Do you want to give it a try?
Right. And then again, you can't really point out something bad on their face. They've got to be the one to tell you that this is a problem, or this is a need that they want. So, it is a fine line, but it's like, if you know your products, if you have the belief in the company that they have something that will help the needs of the customers when they ask you, then you're on your way to, building the success and not worrying about if that customer says, no, I don't want that one. I want this, or I think this is gonna, well, then if that's what they want, that's what they get, right?
So not always, because you can tell them, you know what, go ahead and use that. We'll get that for you since that's what you like, but here's a sample of this, and do your regular thing on this side, and then do this on that side.
Right.
See how
face thing.
Just to see if it makes any difference. If it doesn't make a difference, throw it away, and I'll never talk to I'll never try to sell that to you again. But
or get us
work,
use their thing that they want to use for 3 days, and then the next 3 days try this product sample that I'm giving you. And then, see if you can see a difference, take notice of, that problem that you have.
Absolutely free. So, go ahead and give it a try. It's going to hurt. It might help.
So then number 2 is just kind of on concentrate, focus, which we kind of talked about that, the purpose and goals. Number 3 is constantly remind yourself, that you don't have to worry about those no's, and let them inspire and motivate you, and success will happen. When you feel hurt by a rejection, check whether your perception are intensifying the experience. What are you saying to them? What are you misleading them? Are you coming out with a perception that is, offensive to them?
Or pushy.
Yeah. I mean,
why don't you want the Lux? It's great. It's just because it's $300, but it's great.
Yeah, right, right. Well,
I'm sorry, I can't even afford a toothpaste right now, and I'm not going to buy it.
Well, it's like if they, kind of their budget too, if they've been a customer with you, you know what their budget, what they stick
Yep.
around. So, that would be kind of offensive to suggest something costly when you know that they struggle with the amount of products that they like to use.
Right.
So yeah, you gotta think about that, because you're kind of leading into rejection then.
And it's,
So
again, it's not about you. It's about, I mean, they're not rejecting you.
right,
It's
not
just something
individually
about,
at all, right.
it's just something about the product, and maybe they don't understand it, or they don't want to understand it because they're happy with what they have. But I mean, and if you push it, they're not gonna do anything for you. They're
Well,
not
they
even,
won't call you back, that's for sure.
no.
No, they won't call you back. So, yeah, you've got to, think about the way you're doing your approach, but keep yourself motivated is number 5 by watching, listening, and reading only positive materials that keep you strong and associate with positive people. So, listen to motivational music. Imagine yourself wrapped in a suit of armor where you are protected and safe, where no one can hurt you no matter what they say. So, I mean, that you just kind of build that up, I think, with your length of being with, a company like Avon or something.
I have a huge supply of bubble wrap. That's from Avon too.
Yeah, right. So number 8, you want to go ahead and read that one on page 105?
Sure. Know when to take a break and recharge. At the slightest sign of weakness, stop and listen to a tape, a CD, or a mentor until you are back on top of your game.
Yep, yep. Some days it does. It takes, you got to refuel yourself, just
Or
like,
walk away for a few minutes, just enough to clear your mind. Go get a drink, take a break, walk in the yard, pull some weeds, throw rocks, whatever it is that you need to
right.
release that negative energy. And
Mhm,
then, come back with a fresh idea, and maybe you'll see something you didn't see before.
mhm.
I do that a lot, not the rock throwing, but I pull weeds and that helps. But
But you have a pond in the backyard. You could throw rocks.
I could. But I like those rocks. I like them in my yard, and I'm
Yeah,
not going back out to the pond to get them.
yeah.
But but seriously, I do. When I feel overwhelmed, I'll take a break, and I'll come in after I've already pushed that all behind me, and I come in with a fresh idea and a different approach, and it
Mhm,
does make a difference. And even if you have to go looking for an answer somewhere else before you hit the problem or tackle whatever it is that's bothering you,
mhm,
finding an answer of somebody else who's been there, done that, that
mhm.
helps
Yeah.
greatly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
searching it out, searching things out. So strengthen your armor today and tomorrow. And this talks about just what we said, a half an hour to capture everything and reapproach and get rid of the rejection. So this suggests writing it on a piece of paper, speaking into a tape recorder. Make sure you feel safe to really let your feelings flow. Then, number 2, tomorrow, take a quiet half hour to review what you captured. Promise yourself you will strengthen your armor in those areas and reread the suggestions in this article. So, it's again just building your belief back up, so that you can approach the next one. So, okay, now we got just a couple in Build It Big book. So it talks similar to what we just talked about. Page 80, um, build credibility for the profession. Learn to overcome skepticism. Page 80, first paragraph. We feel skepticism creates a real opportunity to educate others. So then that talks about how people will call direct sales a scam, or, a pyramid or something like that. And attacking the roots of skepticism is the next group down there. When discussing the issue, keep in mind that your listener's skepticism may be a result of fear, a fear of success, or a fear of failure. So they're holding on to that for a reason. So that's where some coaching skills would have them bring it out themselves by just asking those questions. And they got to dig in deeper to see what that fear is.
Well, often a lack of self-confidence is really all the issue is. But it goes right back to the same thing. If you know what your product is and you like your product and you know what's going to happen if somebody uses the product, then you build your confidence by knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, the knowledge of the product that you can, in confidence say, either I've used this or I've talked to someone that has used this, and I think it will fit your needs. So now on page 81, prospect. This is kind of a read back and forth. I'll read prospect, you read distributor. How does that sound?
Sure.
I have heard that many people spend a lot of money on inventory and never make any money.
I understand what you're saying, and I've heard some very similar stories. It's just smart business to purchase only as much inventory as you feel you can sell. Our company has an outstanding training program in place to educate us about market strategies and skill development so the products are sold and solid commissions are earned. May I share a little bit about how we market our products to earn great commissions?
And then that I wrote in, the benefits of our business would follow that with the credibility builders. And, we've got numerous different documents that focus on the benefits of Avon. So there's a lot there.
That's part of knowing your business. Know about your company, understand what they stand for, how long they've been in business, and everything that they've gone through to get where they are today. 138 years, like, oh my goodness, that's a long time. By now, they should know what they're doing for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So get to know that part of the company, and then that might make a difference in somebody who's interested.
And really, like I always say when I'm talking to someone, I want profits in your hand, not products in a box. So our company of Avon does not require you to stock products. That's your decision if you want to stock some, but they require, only require that you order what your customers want and that you have them pay for it before they get it, so that you are this distributor again with to the customers. So offering them the benefits of what everything does. On page 82, then it goes into practice makes permanent. So this is a suggestion for you to do to build up your belief and your self-esteem, is do role-playing activities with a member of your family or a team member so you can practice how to overcome skepticism of the profession. So, first of all, sometimes a new prospect or a new person that's joining your team, they have to overcome the skepticism of their spouse or significant other. So, they have to have that information to be able to first believe it themselves so that they can share that with that significant other or whoever it may be. So that part, I think, finishes our page 80, and then we can go to Build It Big, page 257. Okay, there we go. And that covers professionalism and direct selling. The opportunity, this really pretty much covers the opportunity of what the Direct Sellers Women's Alliance is. It used to be called Women's Alliance. Now it's called World Alliance because so many men are in the business as well. So direct selling should be viewed as a profession. Individuals building distributor organizations should professionalize their business practices. So the concepts of profession and being professional with professionalism gave some good some good like background to what the word means. Just like a physician, a doctor, they practice medicine. So that's their profession. The professionalism is that your
manner,
manners, how you're treating it, your attitude, all of that has to come out to that customer as well, so that they believe that they'll get their product, that they want. So down under the next section, unless there's something else you wanted to cover in there. Okay.
No, we're good.
Down under the next section, direct selling as a profession. So I just underlined a couple things here. Have special education and mastery, a body of knowledge about the direct selling industry. And you got to know that this is not where you're punching a time clock and then you go to whatever job or whatever area you're working in, whether it's retail and you're assigned those racks to keep, you can still get paid and not doing your job.
Yes.
But when you're in direct sales and you're, providing your customers with needs, helping your team members with their needs, if you don't do your job, you're not going to get paid for your job. So you got to understand that part.
You reap what you sow. If you do not sow a good garden, you are not going to get that food you need in the winter. And that's the truth of it. You reap what you sow. Yep. Do a good job, learn what you're doing, sell it because you know it, and the benefits will come. They'll come. It takes time sometimes, but it does work.
Right. And the bullets on page 259 is a strong belief system regarding the credibility of direct selling, the in-depth understanding of generic direct selling process and the relationship marketing, and a passion for and knowledge about the company's products and services. And those are just important facts that you've got to have in your mind when you're in direct selling. Then the next section talks about direct selling and professionalism. Develop technical procedures and skills necessary in the performance of the practice of direct selling. So all of those things that are in bullets below that, just go ahead and read those for me, Flo.
Prospecting, inviting, presenting, handling objections, closing and signing, training, coaching, supporting, tracking performance.
Yep. And those are all things that, as you become a team leader or even join somebody's team with Avon, you've got to understand that that's what you're going to be doing. So the next,
it's pretty thorough too, because it tells you everything that you need to do. And if you're looking for a blueprint and in an opportunity to succeed, you have to be able to go through a particular process so that you don't leave them hanging. If you only go as far as closing and signing and you don't complete their travels in the business with the training, the coaching, supporting, and tracking their performance, they're going to feel like you abandoned them.
Yeah.
So make sure you train them and teach them what it is. And that's why I always tell everybody when they need an answer, if I have an answer, I'll give you that answer. I don't care. I'll let you have it, because by me doing it and giving you that information so that you can do it will make you more successful in what you're trying to do. And then that benefits me as well. So I am happy to disclose all of my little secrets, but coach them, teach them how to do it, support them so that when they come to you and say, this isn't working, and you can just tell them, okay, well, let's see what you did and let's see if we can find a different way to do it. And you got to help them. And then tracking their performance is like, okay, when you didn't know quite what you were doing last month, this is what your sales were. You're $200 more in this sales, from this last campaign. track performance, give them accolades for the good things that they do and the successes that they have, and then that'll make them feel better and they'll want to do better next time.
That's right. That's right. Because it'll make them feel good about what they're doing. And that's the key, is to, not let them get, uh, discouraged, I guess is the word,
Overwhelmed.
discouraged or disappointed that
Yeah.
they're not succeeding in how they thought they would. Well, there's a lot to learn in the beginning. So got to take it baby steps with them and help them understand as they're going. So on page 260, it just pretty much covers the role of the DSWA and what benefits that can give for you. So, I mean, that is some good information as well to to know that how beneficial we are, that we have a business that supports the direct sellers, because they, before, I mean, years past, they were like left out hanging by themselves, I think. So this DSWA organization alliance is a great thing for backup of those people that have chosen the direct selling.
I love this line. It says, women represent the largest single demographic market segment in direct selling profession. That's amazing. And when I think about it, I mean, it isn't just Avon, but and I don't see very many Tupperware men or
Mm-mm.
Pampered Chef men or the nails, what is
Right.
that?
The
Color
strip.
Street,
Hmm.
Color Street, Unique. That's the other cosmetics, Mary Kay, Party Light. I don't see very many men. Um, I think I might have met one other guy in one of the other direct selling things, but
Hmm.
Avon's such a great opportunity because they offer it for both. And if there's a guy that's doing this and making good money, that just proves to me that this is a company that you can actually succeed very well in. And
Hmm.
I look at these girls all the way up at the top, and they have been working their butts off to get where they're at. And the beauty of it is they are allowing their secrets to be known by you so that you can start off that way,
Hmm.
not struggle the way they did. And I think that's awesome. These
Yeah,
women are
yeah,
amazing.
it is. It's just one great big family
I
in that
like that.
everybody's, going to help somebody else, when because everybody struggles with something, it's not bad to be struggling. It's you are powerful if you, I always say, if you jump over that brick wall that you just ran into and move forward, than just saying, well, I just hit a brick wall, so I quit, right?
Right. I can't
So
tell you how many brick walls I've climbed over these last 3 years.
yeah.
I really have. I mean, it was so tempting to just say, okay, I'm not going over this wall this time. But you know what? I did. I kept going. I kept going, and I'm still here.
Yeah, that's
I'm still
right.
here.
That's right. And every time you jump over that brick wall, I think you build up your self-confidence, you build up that belief, that excitement, that,
The big thing is the next wall that I encounter is only because I've built something bigger than it was before. I could have never climbed over this next wall 6, 8 months ago because
Mhm.
this wall would have been the end of all walls. This wall I can climb over because of what I learned since I climbed over the last wall. And so
Yeah.
I will climb over this wall too. Whatever the wall is, I will get over it
Mhm.
because
and
I believe
and
in this
it
company.
makes you a better person all the way around, I think so. So
Yeah,
let's go back to the workbook on page 83, and where it talks about then focusing on your belief, similar to what we are just covering in the reading material. When your belief is strong, you appear confident and knowledgeable, and it demonstrates that you have done your homework and understand how your product or opportunity can make a difference. So, that's what it's all about. Your beliefs can uplift your attitude and demeanor, as well as your reputation as a professional. So how cool is that? How cool is that?
That's
Um, I,
awesome.
I know it is. It really is. I think it just makes you uh, just just feel like I am strong. That song, I Am Woman. you know,
Hear me roar.
yeah. So, how are your beliefs supporting or sabotaging your success?
And
Well,
that's a big question too, because that's a lot of people. But if they're afraid to go out there and not take that step, well, then why did you join? You knew that's what we do.
mm-hmm,
I always like to ask that question because the company I used to work for years ago, I used to train our new people so that they understood what they were going to be doing, what was expected of them, the whole spiel.
mm-hmm.
But if they said, well, I didn't know I was going to have to do that, it's like, we're in accounting. What did you think you were doing?
Yeah.
I mean, we deal with numbers every day. We have to get these numbers in. They have to go in sequential order. There's no mystery to math. It's just
Mm-hmm,
clear cut and simple. There's only one answer in the end. You just need
mm-hmm.
to find a way to get to it. So
Right.
it's like, well, I didn't think I'd have to be doing that. And it's like, what did you think you were going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's about this too. You get into Avon, you know what you need to do. If you're getting it just because you like the discount and you like Avon enough to want to spend some money every month or every couple of months, that's great. Then do that. But if you were doing it because you want to start a business and let your friends know about it and build it up and let it grow and get some extra money, then there's things you need to know how to do. And the information is here. It's here for everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're a skeptic and you don't want to do the work because you're afraid of it, Burger King is hiring.
Exactly. Exactly. That's just a job then. That there is nothing more to it, right?
Exactly.
So the exploration and integration in the next section is assess your supportive beliefs and identify the negative thoughts they may be holding you back. So that little picture that's below there, what I wrote in front of the thoughts, to kind of ask everyone, and if you're listening to this recording, before you go on, kind of ask yourself this. Remember your thoughts when you first started Avon. Like the very first time you started Flo, what were your thoughts? What did you think you were going to get out of it? Or
Well, as a lot of you guys know, my aunt, when I was 14, told me if you use moisturizers, nobody will ever know your age when you get older. And it's true. But when I first started selling Avon, that's the only product I ever used. My mom had a house full of Avon. I got a big kick out of watching that lady come to the house and take all of her little samples out and put them on the table. And my mom would sniff one jar after another, and they'd sometimes wipe it on me or spritz me down with it. And I mean, I have 7 sisters, so we all got a spritz because none of us was going to get left out. And when I got old enough to sell Avon, because I think they were allowing us to start selling at 17. And in 1976, at the very beginning of the year, I was 17, and that's when I started selling it. And I sold it my whole year, my whole senior year of high school. And I had my friends and my neighbors and some family members. It wasn't big stuff because I'm how much can you afford when you're in high school and you're just trying to make ends meet? But I really liked it. So my thoughts for selling it wasn't just for the product, which I absolutely loved because I was using it, but it was also to try to help get a little bit of extra money so that I could decide, do I want to keep going at this or do I want to go to college or what I'm going to do? So this was on the table as a possible future. So I was already thinking in terms of that. But life has a funny way of coming at you because it only lasted for about, maybe another year after that. I was in it for a couple of years, I think.
Mhm.
So I graduated high school, I was still selling it. But my thoughts at the time were that this is a possible, really good job. So, and
Mhm.
it ended up not being the job that I needed at the time because circumstances, things happen.
Life situations.
Yeah, but that was in 1976. That was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I will share mine too, because I've talked about this before, but I didn't want to get into Avon. I mean, my mother-in-law sold it, and she asked me, because when we went to their house after we were married, she'd show me samples, and you know, I was not the Avon salesperson. I was just not that, but I asked my husband and he was all for it. He goes, "Yeah, do it. What does it hurt?" Right? I was like, "What does it hurt? I gets a good reputation with my mother-in-law."
There you
And
go.
that was my honest truth. I mean, it's hard to believe that now, because I've been with them now 38 years, and it's great. I really respect the company that gave the opportunity for women before women could vote. And that's a key thing right there, that they were trying to empower women all the way back then, when we were really just housewives, just in the house, didn't
Yeah.
work, that type of thing. So that's some thoughts. The feelings, any feelings that you want to share in the next little diagram there?
About when I first started.
Or now, it doesn't matter. I mean, the thoughts, I was thinking back to the beginning, but the feelings about Avon, we've expressed some of that already, but if there's anything else that you want to share.
Um, no, it's just I mean, my feeling about Avon is as long as there is an Avon, I will always have Avon.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have products that when they come out, there's some of them that are just so spectacular that, well, like the Skin So Soft, how many years has that been out?
Mm-hmm.
So my feelings about that is they get a good product, they continue to sell it, people still like it, it still does what they said it was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Mm-hmm.
feelings about their products are right up there at the top. There is no other company that I buy products for, that I've bought products for almost my entire adult life.
Mm-hmm.
But Avon is probably the only one I do that with.
Mm-hmm.
Not even
Okay.
my clothes. I don't even buy my clothing that way. But yeah, my feelings for Avon is they put it out there and they put their money where their mouth is. They say it's a good product and it's going to do this, and it does.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
It's
say
got
that
to
about
do
other.
what they put in print. That's for sure. You can be reassured that that's the case.
Yeah.
So, actions and results. Any key points there that come out from you?
Well, again, only know your product. So your a personal action is get to know what your products do, what they're there for, how to use them. That's a big important one. I mean, if you've got something that you put on your eyes and you don't need it, try it. See how you like it. At least you can tell them, well, yes, I tried that. And yes, I did feel a lot of tingling or a little bit of itching, but it went away after a few minutes and there's no cause for concern unless it's burning and then
Mhm.
remove it, you know.
Yeah. And then we have a great return policy. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And so
yeah.
results on that end of it is that you'll be knowledgeable about the product that you're selling and you will convince somebody to try it. I mean, you're not telling them buy it for the rest of your life. We're just asking you to give it a try. If it works for you and it's great, wonderful. We got more. Guess what? It's going to be around for a while. But if it's not going to work for you, I got something else to show you. So, I mean, it's always there. So the results are good. The results are you can actually get a customer to become a lifelong customer.
Mhm.
And not only that, but they'll turn you on to some of their friends too.
Yeah. The great referral program, right?
Oh yeah.
And a satisfied customer is gonna be dedicated to you for life.
Yes.
That's the great part, because they are definitely, they when you're servicing them well, they're going to be dedicated to you. So the next page, on page 85, assess the strength of your belief. And this was a good thing to just really judge yourself, to evaluate yourself, your truth and accuracy associated with each statement. So for those of you that are going to be watching this video and maybe don't have access to this book, I'm just going to read the first one, and then I'll have you, Flo, read the second one, and then we'll just read these three, and then let everybody evaluate themselves as they're listening to this. I have complete confidence in my company and its ability to provide a venue for achieving my dreams. Okay, next one.
I have a solid belief in the product or service that I'm offering to others, and I am experiencing the benefits in my life on a regular basis.
Okay, so as we're reading these, evaluate yourself, those of you that are listening to this recording. And the third and last one is, I have highest self-esteem and self-worth that gives me strength during times of challenge and disappointment. So those are good things to, and you can evaluate yourself on these things like at the beginning of your Avon career, and halfway through or after a year or two, evaluate yourself again and think about these things and see if things have changed. Have you gotten higher self-esteem on as you learn more about the products and feel better about the company that you're associated with? So,
and the self-esteem portion of it, self-esteem and self-worth, if you feel that you don't have that confidence to feel like you can do all of these things, knowledge is power. Get to know those products. That is the biggest secret with Avon. If you know your products and you can tell people about it, it doesn't matter if you feel confident inside, as long as you know what you're talking about. They won't see that you're scared to death inside.
that's right.
Hear what they need to hear from you, and what they need to hear from you is why this product is good and what it's going to do for them. And it doesn't matter how scared you are to tell them this, as long as you know what you're talking about and you know the product, they're going to believe every word you say.
Mm-hmm. And with Avon U and the one pagers that they give us for every single product that they bring out, you've got it right there on paper. You could prove it to them if you needed to. So that, you can put all those one pagers in a supportive sleeve in a notebook with the separated categories of skincare, hair care, whatever it is. And you've got your manual, you've got your things to be able to show, well, let me look this one up and read what Avon says about it to you, that type of thing. It's great that they supply you with those resources.
Yeah.
So, what did you learn from this exercise? So this is something that you can answer yourself after you read, rewatch this video and evaluate yourself. Identify disempowering beliefs. Which belief area did you score the lowest? And how the belief may have sabotaged your success in the past? And how can you transform those old thought patterns into new supportive beliefs that will serve you now in the future? Well, I mean, I'm kind of right there, because when I started, right, I didn't want to do this. I was doing it as a favor from my mother-in-law. And now, I'm supporting a rather large team of representatives, and I am Avon's biggest cheerleader. I mean, when it comes right down to it. And if there's always things that sometimes I'm not sure about, but Avon has the people that we can go to that say, okay, this isn't coming out right to me. So explain why it should be the angle or the direction that we're going now. And, not every company has that, I don't think. And that's a benefit. That's definitely a benefit in the Avon world. Okay, so there's some examples here to study. Disempowering belief would be something like, I don't have the right personality or skills for this business. The result, a discouraged disposition and a desire to quit. Well, that's you. You got to change that around if you really want it, right?
Why did you join if you didn't think you had the confidence for it?
Right. What was the reason? Now maybe because there's no kit fee and it's free. But still, you know what Avon is. You know that we're a direct sales company. So you got to evaluate yourself in that. So you want to read the next one there, the next empowering belief.
Every day I am growing and learning new skills that are positively contributing to my personality and professionally. Not personality, personally.
Okay, and the result is, go ahead.
The result is a positive attitude that supports learning and attracts new possibilities.
Okay.
That's true.
That's a great point. So let's see what goes on to the next page. Well, it has you again kind of evaluate yourself and write down some of your disempowering beliefs and the result, and then an empowering belief. So this is, thing that time well spent to evaluate yourself and then to move forward with the new beliefs. And how you going to set those other beliefs in a different direction. I always say my inner self sometimes talks to me, and you've got to tell that inner self, no, I want to do this. I want to make this work.
Okay. Well, the really cool thing about this exercise is the disempowering belief are the things that you think are going to hold you back. And the result of that is you're not going to perform what you're wanting to perform. You're not going to give out the right information. You may not go around to those driveways and throw those brochures onto someone's driveway. Mm-hmm. But an empowering belief, and if you can get past that and want to do better, just do it. Get those brochures in the envelope. Even if they sit in the box for 2 weeks, you can still throw those out there on it. And what's going to happen is like what happened to me. I didn't throw brochures for the longest time because of COVID. And people didn't want that in their driveway because it might be contaminated by my finger. Well, this summer I bagged them all up, and then I had the kids all summer, and then we started school, and I had 3 kids sitting in my office, and I could never get anything done, and I had to put Avon in the afternoon mode and not do things during the morning because I had the kids here that needed attention for school. Mm-hmm. But those sat in a box, and I tripped over it for 2 months. I finally said, that's it, they're out of here. So I bagged them up and I went around and I threw it out to all the neighboring homes that are over 200 brochures. Mm-hmm. Had 5 orders from that.
That's wonderful.
People calling online. And the biggest success out of that is I got a recruit from it. Mm-hmm. Not only ordered, but she also joined and then ordered more.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that if I hadn't gone out. Yeah, I could have said, well, it's the COVID. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to throw these in the garbage. There's too many. I'm tripping on them. Or my husband could have said the same thing. What are you going to do with that? That's his favorite line. What are you going to do with all that? It's like, I'll throw it out. When? Next year, next month, tomorrow, I need to get an idea.
Yeah.
Get it out of my garage. It's been sitting here for 2 months. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I could have left it there, but the empowering belief was that something could happen. And what's going to happen? Even if I don't get a phone call, we're not tripping over those boxes anymore.
That's right. It's all a good thing, no matter what, right?
Yep. And the beauty of it is that I got that phone call and I got several orders, and I got another order today. It just came in and told me I had another order. I don't know this woman, but she lives in that neighborhood, and I wonder where she got that brochure.
Yes. See?
So yeah,
that's it. If you wouldn't have thrown those books, that gal she may have just went to avon.com and signed up once she decided she was going to do it. but you know, it kind of gave her a little bit of push and knew that you were in the neighborhood, and why not sign up with someone local, right? That is there for your support.
And
So
when I sent her a welcome email, I told her any questions you have, if you didn't sign up with the $30 option and you would like a couple of books, let me know. I'll bring you some books over. I'll bring you a few samples over, get you started. Because I mean, by the time she gets her bundle, this campaign will be over and she'll miss a lot of the good deals. So
mhm,
it's like I was more than willing to go over there, and she just lives around the corner. It'd take me, I could walk there. That's how close she is.
isn't
I'd
that
be
great?
out of breath and tired and probably
Oh,
need a ride home, but still, she's
you
close.
have a new friend. You made a new friend. That's
Somebody can come to all these meetings with me now.
yeah. So,
Carpool.
yeah, so I mean, this is just so good and deep down in thinking about where you're at. And then the page 87, because we're past our hour, and it goes into 88 and 89, talks about why you believe. What are the benefits of Avon? And we've got those. I mean, if you want a flyer on that, I've made many flyers on the benefits of Avon. The incentive programs, right? Well, you know, going on some great paid trips, even though I know your one you earned, but you got a good settlement out of it because they canceled the trip.
I
So
did.
I mean, you know, the Avon's backing up what they give, and if it can't happen, you know, they're
I
giving.
wanted really bad to get that trip. I wanted to go to Jamaica so bad. And I mean, the last couple of years have been difficult. We lost my dad, we lost my mother-in-law, all in a 9-month time period, and we had to break down their homes and sell their houses. I mean, it was
Yeah,
a rough
some
couple of years.
details. Yeah.
But in spite of that, I threw myself into this because I wanted this. And
Mhm.
yeah, I was busy. I was busy as probably I've ever been, but I stayed even busier by doing the Avon so that I can do what I could to win this trip.
Yeah,
And then we couldn't go.
I know.
It would have been so nice. And I won the trip for two, which was
Yeah.
the best part. I really worked hard for that. It just proves that I can do it if I really want to. And
Anybody can. It's out
yep,
there. Anybody that wants to earn an incentive with Avon, it can be. I mean, Darwin and I don't know if we're going to go to Dominican Republic, if Avon will be holding that one next April or not. We're
yeah.
waiting to see. But so, you know, the company program benefits, the compensation plan, the customer support, everything that Avon does in the videos and everything, into the training and all of that on page 90. It just, you know, you evaluate all that you've got. You got to sit down and evaluate all that you've got in whatever company you're in. You know, I don't think that I would enjoy another company as much as I enjoy Avon. And so there's a reason, and there's a reason the Lord put me here, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we will end this a session. And let me just, before we turn off the recording, next session we will do next Monday is page 92, tell a powerful story. And this is like that elevator speech. This is like, you know, telling an inspirational story about yourself. This is going to be a great, great lesson. There's only a couple readings in the two books, but this goes then to page 97. So it'll be 92 to 97. And then we'll start some legacy leadership things. And those will be, again, very powerful sessions.
Great.
I personally love this book, the BIB book, and what I think it has brought out in me, just facilitating this has been, you know, just amazing. And what do you think, Flo?
being on the receiving end of all of this, and when I really actually got down to reading the lesson before we were in this class, it's got some great information in here. It tells you exactly the kind of mindset you need to be successful. And I really like that. Things I hadn't thought about. I mean, I'm sure you can tell that I've thought about these things a lot and that I do a lot of these things already.
Mhm.
But learning how to do things the way this book is has taught me a great deal about how to be more compassionate towards the customers, how to give the customers the things that they need and want and expect from you. And it tells you why you need to be on top of your game with what you're selling. And you can't just go and say, here's a pair of scissors. You know, you have to tell them they cut really good. They don't need to be sharpened. They're easy on your hand. It's got a good grip. You know, you got to give them all facts about the product. And I really like that about this. It breaks the whole thing down so that you know what you're doing. That's very good.
Yeah, it is a good program. So we will end that here. I will stop the recording. And thank you all that are watching this recording. And we will talk again next week when we do another recording on the next section. Okay, bye everybody.